So the kids all went off to school today in their own shirts. With the troubled past of Canadian histories, these can be, they can make for difficult conversations, but they are important ones to have. So that's why we have the parenting panel on today here. Julie Cole, co-founder of Mabel's Labels, parenting author, and Mama Six, and happy to be joined for the first time, Isabel Blackbird McMurrich is a Walpole Island First Nation member, community connector, and mom of two. Good to see you, Julie. Great to have you on the show, Isabel.
Thank you.
Where is Walpole?
It's about 3 hours from here. It's near Chatham and Wallaceburg.
Chatham and Wallaceburg.
Yes.
Okay, and you grew up there?
No, I actually was raised off reserve. So my dad was a residential school survivor, and he had chose to raise us 9 kids off reserve in hopes that we would have a better life. And it was also interesting, I guess, looking back. So my dad is no longer with us, and he had chose thinking that this was going to be better for us. And even so, there's 9 of us kids, and through that he had raised us off reserve and raised us in a way that we didn't know our culture because it wasn't the right thing to do. And so even getting my Indian status card, he delayed that because he didn't want the Indian agent to come and find us, even in Halton, which is crazy.
Wow. And then you look at the one of the calls to action from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and it is about education, and that's what you're doing a lot of now, and with our families and our children, right? Like, you've really reclaimed a lot of that.
Exactly. That's my biggest mission right now, is to reclaim, relearn my culture, and I'm able to, right? I can teach my 2 girls our culture, and how do I also start to help other Indigenous moms out there, or parents or guardians, be able to say it's okay to learn. I could tell you the last 2 years what I've learned is absolutely amazing with my culture, and even going back to Walpole Island, we would go back all the time and visit family and learn and play with our cousins and so on, but I didn't really get into ceremony or start to learn about our culture until my father passed away, and that was the first. It was a cedar ceremony. It was a traditional burial, which was absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he talk about it at all in the household?
No.
It never came up.
Talked about it.
Never came up.
The only things that, when I look back, is I would say, Dad, why don't you teach us the language? My dad was a fluent Anishinaabe speaker, so Ojibwe, and he had said they took it from me. So he would teach me a couple of words, Puju, Anishinaabe, Miigwech, and things like that, but it wasn't a lot because they took it, and I'm like, what is he talking about? And then fast forward, after speaking with my older siblings and stuff, now I realize exactly what my father meant.
Right. And so now, how are you incorporating all of that with, like, your parenting?
It's tricky. It's very tricky, but it's fun, just bringing new learnings into the house, right? Or I think the interesting thing is with my friends even as well, starting to bring them into a little bit more of the ways that we do things. It's all about family. So whenever there's a party and someone doesn't invite children, it's just so strange because that's who are supposed to be there.
Yeah.
When kids are coming home from school today, should we ask them what did they learn in school today? Because they should be getting taught things in school today. We want them talking to us about it, even helping us out.
Absolutely. And these conversations can be tough. And there are going to be kids who maybe this is the first time they hear about this, and they're going to be learning about abuses that they didn't necessarily know of before. So we need to have these conversations in age-appropriate ways, but I would say that we can't really sanitize it. We don't really want to sanitize it because I think not talking about these things is what got us into all this trouble in the first place, right?
It's so true. It's so true, honestly. And it's our generation and the generations above who we didn't learn about residential schools. We didn't learn about the trauma and so on that is going on or had gone on, right? And so how do we learn? So even right now, I just saw on Netflix on the weekend for any adults to watch Indian Horse. If you haven't watched that movie, it's an eye-opener. And, everyone has time to watch a quick Netflix show, or there's another one called For Love. Great.
And there's some great children's books, too, like the Phyllis's story about the original orange shirt and how Phyllis's orange shirt got taken away and how that became. So there are a lot of great resources for kids, too.
Okay, is there places where we can find these resources? Like,
Honest-
where's a good place to go?
Your
Isabel?
library. I open up my Flip app, and I'm a busy mom, so I don't have time to be reading books, if you will. I have audiobooks. And when I'm dropping off my youngest at daycare or walking to the bus, going on my lunch walk, that's when I listen to my books.
Okay. We've run out of time. But
Right.
here's the thing too: is it shouldn't always be up to Indigenous to teach us.
Yes,
We have to teach
Tim.
ourselves
That's
by
right.
doing that type
That's
of
right.
stuff.
And I just want to remind people quickly too, if they want to attend an event, I'm going to be down at Spencer Smith Park from 4 to 7. There's going to be a peer-to-peer walk, and there's going to be a tobacco ceremony and a drumming circle,
Good.
and so that'll be great. Our friend White Eagle is going to be speaking at that.
It's really cool, Isabel.
Yep.
Thank you.
Chat. Good one. All right. We'll have more on Morning Live on this, the second day of Truth and Reconciliation on Morning Live.